Okay, we are here. What's up, Walker Pierce? How you doing? All right. So, editing stream. I have no idea if this stream is going to be good or something. I have no idea if this stream is going to be enjoyable at all to anybody other than me. So, you know, figured I'd at least throw something out there. While I'm here, let me also just do a little bit of quick advertising. On the Patreon, you can see way more content exactly like this, and all you gotta do is subscribe to the $5 tier, and that'll get you access to like 2 years worth of these videos. So, throwing that out there before we actually get started. Anyway, the new Mizu rare species is generally one of the toughest monsters I've fought so far in Sunbreak. Really? I haven't touched Sunbreak in a while. I haven't. I've been lacking. I've been lacking real bad. I've been playing a lot of Metroid Fusion, honestly. I'm playing that game again. I'm just taking this opportunity to like redo, re-experience some classics on my Steam Deck, and emulation is just so good. Doesn't matter. Watch time is watch time. You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's go ahead and minimize this window. And then we will go to this one. There we go. Let me also just add that song back, actually. You know what? Media source. Song 2. Song 2? Song 2. What song should I use? Blue Resort. You know what? Yeah, Blue Resort. Fuck it. We're gonna do Blue Resort. Oh, that's really loud. Hold on. Let me make that, hold on. Let me just make sure that everybody can hear that. Okay. Oh, shit. There we go. That's very loud. That's very loud. I'm sorry. This is not Spore music, actually. This is in fact Bomberman 64 music. Hold on. Loud. Yeah. I got it down. I got it down. It's fine. Chat's a bit delayed and everything. You can see my monitor. Wow. The whole ass thing. We got a fancy Pikmin wallpaper. Woo! Alright. Hold on. Yeah. Bomberman 64 is such a good fucking game, dude. Hold on. Let's just put this up on screen. Just in case. Just in case anybody joins in and they want to know. Here, let's make it a little bit bigger, just so that everybody can read it. There we go. There we go. So, basically what we're doing for this, suggested some Spore music, but Bomberman 64 OST. Oh, okay, you were suggesting music. Gotcha. Yes, the N64 has so many fucking bangers. Hold on, let me move this over here. The N64 library has so many fucking bangers of music. So I am what is it? I am very happy to include some more of that stuff in my streams. Anyway, wobbly windows. Hell yeah, I've got wobbly windows. I'm a fucking KDE user. You expected me to not have wobbly windows? Okay, there we go. Okay, my OBS is broken a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. I can still see everything. All right. Now let me go ahead and do this. Ah, there we go. There we go. Nice ol' crack of the blue. That's what I'm drinking right now, boys. I'm drinking blue. So, I basically wanted to document the entire process of editing. So, essentially, the way that I edit, or the way that I have to edit here on Linux, is a bit fucked. Just a little bit. Plasma. I'm drinking plasma. Ooh. So, it's a bit fucked. The editing software that I use is called DaVinci Resolve. Let me just go ahead and close that window. Oh, that's so much better. Give me just 1 second. Sorry, I'm just handling things on the... You can see that for a second. Oops. That's okay, though. I'm just handling things on the back end right now. I just need to make sure that I see more things. Okay, there we go. Sure, it'll stay there. So, the way that I edit my videos is on DaVinci Resolve. Here, let's go ahead and open up DaVinci Resolve right now. So, when I'm editing on DaVinci Resolve specifically, DaVinci Resolve has some... You can see that. Oops. I made a shitty edit for a buddy of mine. Maybe I'll play it on stream. Maybe I'll get fucking slapped by YouTube. Who knows? So, let's just go ahead and make Steam Deck Review. By the way, I'm not going to finish this video today. There is no way in hell I'm going to be able to finish this video today. There's going to be so much stuff. I still have to record B-roll. I have so much I have to do. Like, I have so much stuff I still need to film. But I at least wanted to get the general editing flow down, like how I like begin a video. And we can also use this opportunity to just kind of vibe for a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Nope. Hang on. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. Do it live. Yeah. There's so much I have to record still. So we are not going to do this whole video live. But I do want to show off how I edit things. I'm gonna leave this here while I do my terminal shit, and I'll go ahead and zoom in again just in case anybody can't see. So, by the way, how is the visibility right now? I was genuinely concerned on how visibility would be during this stream, because I recognize that not everybody has a 21:9 monitor. You know what I mean? So it's not exactly... I would imagine this is not exactly the most visible type of content. So I have to, like, grow... I have to, like, what is it? Zoom in really hard just to make sure that everybody sees. Sudo apt get hell. I don't have apt on here. I have DNF. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just do this. Linux stuff. Ha ha hee hee hoo hoo. There you go. We got some Qt5 shit updating. We got LibreOffice updating. Wow, we got a lot of shit updating today. Goddamn. You know what? I will do this later, actually. I will do this update later, just in case something breaks. So, here's what we're gonna do. The way that I, oh, sneaky sausage. So the way that I edit, or the way that I have to edit, is here's all my footage right here. Go get myself an ultra wide real quick. Dude, ultra wides are so nice. They're so fucking nice, especially for editing. Like, look at how much space on the timeline I have over here, right? I absolutely adore ultra wides for editing. Gaming can be a bit hit or miss sometimes, which, you know, that's not exactly the dev's fault, you know. That shit just takes time to implement for games, so I'm not upset if a game doesn't support ultra wide. It's just, I wish it did. But for editing, oh my god, it's so nice. It's so nice. Just in case something breaks, welcome to Linux. Yep. I love the way you compensate for the ultra wide on this stream. Oh, thank you. What is it? Yeah, I had to compensate somehow, right? And I need to have my full stream open. I need to be able to see my whole monitor. So this is like the best that we're gonna be able to do here. You know what? Let's just add this little guy down here. Hold on. There. Yeah, look at him. Let's add this little guy down here. Hold on. Transform. Edit transform. Here we go. We're gonna do 10. Yeah, 10 degrees will work. 10 degrees will work, and we'll throw him just down here. Why not? He'll just be there. Bizmo will just be there. Anyway, so what was I even saying? Yes, back to editing. Actually, I'm just talking about Linux shit right now. So I have my NeoFetch open on the right hand side, just in case anyone's curious. You can just read that while I do my terminal shit. Anyway, the way that I have to edit my videos on Linux is that the editing software I'm using, I'm a PNG tuber. What happened to Bob? What do you mean? Who's Bob? I don't know who that is. Vibin' Bizmo is appreciated. Oh, thank you. Cool. I'm glad that we got a little Bizmo vibing in the corner. We'll add a little bit of spring. A little bit of spring to this. Just notice you're using Pipewire and Resolve. You get any audio lag on the timeline? I do, or I did. So I did on Pop OS, and honestly, the main reason I switched to Fedora is because the plugin I needed to make the audio not lag exists in the Fedora repos, but not in the Pop OS repos. And I didn't want to add another repo, and I wanted to start over, and I wanted to get a clean slate, so fuck it. We're switching to Fedora full time, and that's what I did months and months ago. And so that is why we're on Fedora specifically. One of the big reasons why we're on Fedora. Anyways, good lord. So DaVinci Resolve, for those of you who don't know, does not support H.264 audio. Or no, it doesn't support. It supports H.264. It doesn't support AAC audio, ACC audio. I forget the terminology, but it doesn't support the specific codec that OBS records my audio in. So I need to re-encode all my audio. So I do that using FFmpeg. Do I have... Oh, wait, hold on. This isn't the right page. Hold on. Let me just open this up. Yeet. All right, there we go. Open into Steam Deck Review. Perfect. And then we'll... FFmpeg input. We'll do 1.mp4 C, A. I'll explain what all this shit is going on. I'll explain all this shit that's going on as I'm doing it. For what it's worth, new Pipewire releases. It's queued up as there's a fix for latency. Cool. Wait till you see wait till you need something even more obscure and switch to Arch. That day's probably gonna come eventually, man. It has a flag that can fix latency without the plugin. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why it do the way it do. Does anyone need explanations for what I'm doing with FFmpeg here? Wait, I went S16LE map 011A dot wave. There we go. So much faffling just to not use Windows. I find the fact that I'm not using Windows to be worth more. Like, I take great pride in how I've got everything set up here. I think doing this was so much more worth just, quote-unquote, just using Windows. You know, Windows is easy mode. I do not care for the easy mode. You know what I mean? You know what? Let's... Ooh. There we go. Windows is a doo-doo OS. It is! It is. Windows is fucking terrible, and I don't want to use it. I don't want my information to be given over to whoever the fuck is owning Microsoft now. Pumpkin. Okay. If anybody needs explanation on what I'm doing for FFmpeg here, do speak up. I will gladly explain what I'm doing. The only way there will be a change is if you're the one making it. Exactly. Exactly. I'm tired of Windows in every sense of the word. I've been tired of Windows in every sense of the word. And the fact that I'm able to completely run my channel and a lot of my work entirely off of Linux, you know, it's really cool. I'm really happy with how everything's turned out. And I've learned a lot of stuff about my computer, too. Be the change you want to see in the world. Switch to Temple OS. Temple OS! I should get a VM of Temple OS up and running at some point. once Wayland becomes mainstream. Oh my god. Speaking of Wayland, so I was, I don't know if I told this story on stream yet, but I tried out Wayland not long ago, and oh my god, it is so fucking nice, dude. Wayland is so nice, but screen recordings doesn't work. Screen sharing, screen recording doesn't work at all on Wayland. So until that gets fixed, I can't switch over to it. What do you think of the video coding challenge made by the Fedora devs? Oh yeah, the codec change. Oh hey Ray, what's going on? Yeah, YouTube stream now. What is Wayland? Okay, how do I explain Wayland? Ralph, do you know, how much do you know about Linux? I like, this is not being like condescending. I genuinely need to know just to know how much I need to explain. I can explain what Wayland is. I just need to know what you do and don't know. Because if you know a good amount, and you know what's going on, like, do you know what Xorg is? If you know what Xorg is, I can explain real easy. If you don't, that's fine, and I'm willing to explain that too. Ooh. All right, well. What do you think? Okay, the video codec change made by the Fedora devs. So, I'm not sure how I feel about it, honestly. It's predominantly affecting the Mesa kernel mods, the Mesa drivers. So I don't really know how much that's going to affect me. If it really starts affecting me, then I'm going to be pissed. And I guess the only way I'm going to know if it affects me or not is if, you know, when that, you know, if it ever affects me, right? So I would like to say that I don't really care much, but, you know, I'm not going to know until way later. I'm newish. I only know what distro and desktop environments are. That's totally fine. So, here, we're going to learn something today. I run Wayland on an AMD iGPU offload, whatever, with the NVIDIA card. I feel like I'm cheating somehow, but hey, FreeSync on the NVIDIA card over HDMI. That's pretty nice, actually. That actually does sound nice. So, explanation for, wait, did I set the song to loop? I didn't. Here, let's change the music again. Fuck it, why not? Yeah, this one! Oh my god, excuse me. Get some Poke Village, theme in here. So, Village of the Sun, Valhabar. Yeah, the Valhabar theme is really nice, but I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't hold the candle to Poke Village. Man, bisexual Billy that fucking Mudahar's got. That's a nice ass PC. Anyway, so Wayland. Essentially, how Linux displays Windows. From my understanding, how Linux displays Windows is you have to use what's called a display server, and I believe this was built back in the day specifically to make it so that it was easier to run what is it, independent terminals, and have your main server, like in your business's basement, handle all the virtual computers and shit like that. But essentially how Xorg works, or x.org, that's the one that everyone uses right now. How it works right now is that, I don't need to explain how it works. Basically, what's going on is that Xorg is like sort of a middleman between your display and your program. I think. I might be getting some of this wrong, so don't take me as gospel. So your program has to tell your computer what to display. Then your computer has to talk to Xorg to actually make the thing display. With Wayland, you kind of skip the middleman, and therefore you can run your programs more efficiently. I've seen it be way more efficient, and Wayland has a lot more newer features in it, because Xorg, believe it or not, has not been updated since like 1985. And I guarantee you, if you're running a Linux distro right now, you're running Xorg. Or there's a high chance you're running Xorg. So Wayland, essentially, is coming in and saying like, hey, we're going to update everything. We're going to make things run more efficiently. We're going to ditch a lot of those legacy features just because we don't need a whole lot of them. But that's where the problem lies, is that a lot of those legacy features are what, like, screen recording stuff is built on. Input and program communication facilitator. There you go. That's a good summation of that. So, what is it? Wayland is more modern. Exorg is old and bloated. There's problems with Exorg that they can't fix unless it's recoded from scratch. There you go. Thank you, Papa Mikey, for summarizing that. My insane rambling, super easy. How does ordinary gamers do it? SLI. No, SLI is not a thing anymore. Basically, how he does it is he has Linux act as a hypervisor, and he runs virtual machines of Windows and Mac to run all of his programs and everything. So he has an AMD card and an NVIDIA card, and the AMD card, I think, is going for the Mac computer, and the NVIDIA card is going to the Windows VM, and the Linux hypervisor is just a Linux hypervisor. You don't really need a whole lot of power for that. Did you have any issues getting resolved to work on Linux? I heard it's difficult to get working. Not really, honestly. There's some things that were fucked up. That's why I'm on Fedora right now. He pins his GPU to VFIO. Okay, semantics. He essentially is passing his GPUs through to the VMs and letting the VMs just take complete control of the GPUs. AMD card is being used for Linux and Mac. Got it. But yeah, SLI is not a thing. SLI hasn't been a thing for a hot minute. The AMD card is being used. Oh, okay. There's a bit of a delay. Anyway. So here we go. We're actually going to fucking start editing in this editing stream. How long have I been live? Like 20 minutes? All right. Oh, okay. So we have to go, first off, we have to go into the audio editing. So audio editing is a bitch. If anybody here has been doing editing, you would know that editing audio fucking sucks. Thankfully, I've got some presets going here that work out for me. Have default. There we go. How's the stream running? Okay, it seems to be running just fine. You need a full thick client Linux hypervisor. Resolve works out of the box better if you have NVIDIA. Ah, yeah. Okay, that's true. Resolve really likes my CUDA cores on my NVIDIA. Give me one quick second. I just need to do one quick thing. I hope the stream doesn't crash from this. Okay, we should be good. What game that supports DirectX 12 doesn't have DirectX 11 as fallback or Vulkan? Oh man, I straight up don't know. My issue is that people have the NVIDIA hate boner and prioritize AMD. It's a give and take, you know. Horizon Zero Dawn, Cyberpunk. Oh, okay. Anyway, here we go. So we need to actually start editing. I'm gonna go ahead and actually listen to this. I want to know how this sounds.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. On the fact that you're not actually there, and this intro is stupid.
There we go. So you're gonna see all the stupid bullshit outtakes that I usually cut out, and that's okay. That's just how it be. By the way, I have a little Blackmagic little keyboard thing down here, so I have a nice jog wheel that I can quickly scroll through. I can quickly scroll through on the video here, which is nice. It's nice to have. I prefer using it for the general first editing phase. Team Green, BB. Hell yeah, green Joy-Cons. Let's fucking go. It's off screen right now. I think you can kind of see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it right here below my mic arm. I have a Minecraft Creeper 3DS or 2DS, excuse me. Team Red Gang? Oof. Sorry, I guess we have to ban Crash, dude.
Sorry, I didn't see you there. On the fact that you're not actually there. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just enjoying a nice rowdy game.
Okay. So, did I say rowdy? I meant to say rousing. God damn it. Hold on.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. On the fact that you're not there and you're actually a camera.
Okay, so it's either going to be this second one or this first one. We can just cut this bitch out. I like the one where it's like, this intro is stupid.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. On the fact that you're not actually there and this intro is stupid.
Okay. Gray Joy-Cons for life. I'm talking about the GPU, not the Switch. Oh! Oops. straight up, I want to see the Intel GPUs actually become a thing. How do you record your audio? With OBS. The microphone that I'm using right now to stream this is an MXL 990, and that is an XLR mic that's plugged into a Focusrite 2i2, and that goes into the Linux computer. Hoo-ho, I was talking about NVIDIA. I know, I'm boring. Hey, gray Joy-Cons, whatever, it's fine. Okay, hold on, let me just...
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. On the fact that you're not actually there, and this intro is stupid.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That works for me. And so then we can just go ahead and add a transition.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. On the fact that you're not actually there, and this intro is stupid.
There we go. That's good enough. That's good enough. And so this is what being an editor is like. You just sit and you just watch the same thing over and over and over again. And we're into boring time now. So if you're not down with this, I would not blame you for leaving.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm just sitting here enjoying a nice game on my Nintendo Switch. Don't mind me, though, guys. I'm just sitting here enjoying a nice game on my Nintendo Switch. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just sitting here... but don't mind me, though. I'm just sitting here enjoying a nice game on my Nintendo Switch.
I kind of like that one the most, the final one.
I sure do love this thing, you know?
Hold on. Let's split this. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to actually link these clips together. I kind of need to link the clips together. Oh, man. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Dude. I did not see you there, or not there. I use a terrible Razer mic, and I just ordered a cheap XLR mic setup. This Razer Siren X mic I have has weird issues like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi signals affecting the quality on a wired mic. What the fuck? What? That's stupid. Why would that affect it? Anyway, I aspire to do this shit semi-professionally. So I'm not one of those people who thinks that your equipment automatically makes your videos better. But I've been doing this long enough to where I know how to take full advantage of this higher end equipment. It's not exactly high end. This is like mid tier shit. I know how to take better advantage of this equipment. So I'm not. If you're just starting off doing video work and editing and shit like that, you don't need to worry about. You don't need to worry about your equipment. That's one of the pitfalls that a lot of people fall into. They'll buy like really expensive equipment thinking they need it when really you don't. Spend that time honing your skill. You and Sog are the only Linux channels that I know about. Wait, really? Message retracted. I read that. I saw that, Ray. By the way, if you can hear a video of disconnected, seemingly unrelated, out-of-order clips would be really funny. That'd be stupid. Snapping the Switch into two pieces mid-review would make for some good content. I'm not going to kill my Switch. I bought this Switch launch day. I'm gonna jailbreak the shit out of this thing and dump all my Switch games. Cause I was one of those people who waited outside day one at a Best Buy and got this thing. Day one. I'm not breaking this thing. It's too valuable right now. If you know what game I'm playing based on these sound effects that are playing, I'll give you a high five.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. On the fact that you're not actually there, and this
I'm actually going to cut that down a little bit. I'm going to make that a bit shorter. I don't think it needs to be that long. I didn't finish it. All right.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. On the fact that you're not actually there, and this intro is stupid. But don't mind me, though. I'm just sitting here enjoying a nice game on my Nintendo Switch. I sure do love this thing, you know? Mediocre and outdated.
Oh, boy. Here we go. So, yeah, you get to see how many times... This whole thing is me fucking up one bit of the intro. It took me so long to get this intro right. Okay, let's just skip to the end. We can cut out a lot of this because I know a lot of this is bad.
The mediocre and outdated hardware, the numerous. And you want to know my favorite part about? You know, I've spent the past 5 years of my life with this Nintendo Switch.
That's true. 5 years. Ah! There we go. 5 years. Went to a midnight release at GameStop for my Switch? Hell yeah.
You know, I've spent the past 5 years of my life with this Nintendo Switch, and you want to know what my favorite part about it is? Obviously, it's the mediocre hardware, the numerous issues with said hardware with no easy way to fix it, the lack of any kind of virtual console, the paywall that only gets you access to online play and
See, it's hard. It's either Shovel or Rivals. No one plays Rivals on Switch, so it must be Shovel Knight. You and Sog are the only Linux using channels I know of that have really good editing. Why is that? I feel like it's because Sog and I... How do I say this? I don't... Okay. Here's the thing about Linux YouTubers. And I've said this several times, right? The problem with a lot of Linux channels out there, and this is a personal problem, I admit, is that a lot of them just don't really focus on being entertaining. Lots of Linux tubers love to show their face and talk a lot. I mean, I don't especially like showing my face. I'm going to have a lot of B-roll in this video. I'm kind of taking some cues of Scott the Waz on this one. But I feel like the problem with a lot of Linux YouTubers is that they don't focus on being funny or entertaining. They focus on being informative, which is fair. Totally fair. There's a lot of Linux YouTubers out there who know way more than me when it comes to Linux stuff and how to run it and all that fun stuff. Sounds like someone isn't an IT nerd. It's because most Linux YouTubers upload daily and some of the videos are just talking about some random protocol or something. That's true too. I know that for the Linux experiment, his videos are just, he does weekly news, so you don't really need high-end editing for news. So,
You know, I've spent the past 5 years of my life with this Nintendo Switch. And you want to know what my favorite part about it is? Obviously, it's got to be the mediocre and outdated hardware, the numerous issues with said hardware with no easy way to fix it, the lack of any virtual console, and the fact that you have your online play and cloud... Fuck!
It's hard! It's really hard!
The fact that you have your online play and cloud saves locked behind some shitty paywall, and the upgrade you get that only gets you 2 shoddy emulators and a bunch of DLC that goes away the second you stop paying your sub. Just to name a few things.
Fuck it, we're going with this one. I don't care anymore.
Play and cloud... Fuck! Console.
We're gonna do some quick editing here. Some quick editing here, y'all.
The fact that you have your online play and cloud saves locked behind some shitty paywall, and the upgrade you get that only gets you 2 shoddy emulators and a bunch of DLC that goes away the second you stop paying your sub. Just to name a few things.
There's a noticeable lag in the video and the audio. I'm gonna have to fix that later. Let me actually see a couple more of these.
Said hardware and no easy way to fix them, the lack of any kind of virtual console, the paywalled online subscription that only gets you access to online play and cloud saves, and the shitty $50 upgrade you get that gets you 2 shoddy emulators and the...
I almost had that one too. I almost had that one too.
You know, I've spent...
Add the part where you messed up at the end of the video. Dude, I'm saying all of this is me messing up. This one line. It sucks. Maybe I'll upload bloopers to the Patreon. That sounds like fun.
You know, I've spent the past 5 years of my life with this Nintendo Switch. You want to know what my favorite part about it is? Obviously, it's got to be the mediocre and outdated hardware, the numerous issues with said hardware and no easy way to fix them, the lack of any kind of virtual console, the paywalled online subscription that only gets you access to online play and cloud saves, and the shitty $50 upgrade you get that gets you 2 shoddy emulators and the...
I almost had that one. I'm so mad I almost had that one.
Said online subscription, numerous hardware issues, and the mediocre and outdated hardware that goes away the second you stop paying your sub.
Hold on, let me hold on. This one actually sounds good. What program do you use to record your voice? OBS. I record all this on OBS. Blooper reel is going to be its own video. There's too much.
The numerous hardware issues and the mediocre and outdated hardware, the lack of any kind of virtual console, the fact that your online subscription only gets...
No, I don't like that one.
Of any virtual console, the fact that you have your online play and cloud saves locked behind some shitty paywall, and the upgrade you get that only gets you 2 shoddy emulators and a bunch of DLC that goes away the second you stop paying your sub.
I like this one. Sub. I think this is the best culmination of everything. You haven't used the Linux Penguin in a thumbnail for 2 months. I see you can get better. Listen, the Linux Penguin having tux in the thumbnail... You gotta make your thumbnails clickbaity. And I had to put him somewhere.
You know, I've spent the past 5 years of my life with this Nintendo Switch. And you want to know what my favorite part about it is? Obviously, it's got to be the mediocre and outdated hardware, the numerous issues with said hardware with no easy way to fix it, the lack of any virtual console, the fact that you have your online play and cloud saves locked behind some shitty paywall, and the upgrade you get that only gets you 2 shoddy emulators and a bunch of DLC that goes away the second you stop paying your sub. Just to name a few things.
There you go. All of that footage. All of that footage. Just for this. At least your thumbnails aren't as bad as Gardner Bryant. I have no idea who that is. I genuinely have no idea who that is. All right, here we go. And then 2A. Oh, right, hold on. Oh yeah, here's another little insight into my recording habits. So when I record stuff on OBS, I actually record 3 separate audio tracks just to separate my stuff out properly. Matter of fact, I spent months using fucking Carla and Pulse Audio volume control just to set up everything to make it so that all the audio gets separated properly. It was a pain in my fucking ass, but I got it working. How long would it take you to upload a 10-minute video? Wait, when not streaming the process, how long would it take you to upload a 10-minute video? I don't really try to, he is not the Linux gamer anymore, really. I don't really aim for time. I basically just sit down and record a video until... Essentially, my process nowadays is I write out a basic guideline. I went with more of a script for this video, but normally I just have like a basic outline of what I want to talk about, just to keep me on track. I keep recording until I talk about anything. Until I talk about everything. Once I have all that done, editing... It depends on the video. It depends on what I'm feeling, honestly. It could take me, it could take me like, an hour, maybe less, if I'm just trying to shit the video out as fast as possible. Or if I really want to put effort into it, it could take me a couple days. It all depends on how much effort I'm willing to put in. And I've started to lax myself on how much effort I put in, because like I need to live. You won't believe that the who's it and the what's it insert big red arrows. Yeah, no, I know. That's just how YouTube is. I'm not going to fight that.
Wah wah wee wah. My wife.
My wife. I've never seen Borat.
Now, I'm aware that comparing the Steam Deck with the Nintendo Switch isn't really anything new. Now, I'm aware that comparing the Steam Deck to the Nintendo Switch really isn't anything new. Now, I'm aware that comparing the Steam Deck to the Nintendo Switch really isn't anything new. Now, I'm aware that comparing the Steam Deck to the Nintendo Switch really isn't anything new.
I like that one. We're going to go with that one. I'll add music later. Steam Deck has taken you months. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I don't care! I don't care! I don't care!
Now, I'm aware that comparing the Steam... Just to name a few things. Now, I'm aware that comparing the Steam Deck to the Nintendo Switch really isn't anything new.
There we go.
Just the next in a long line of reviewers drawing surface-level comparisons to devices. I'm just the next in a long line of mediocre reviewers that's drawing some surface-level comparisons to 2 devices that don't really have any business being compared to each other.
That one's okay. This footage is from June of this year. This footage is from last week. This footage is from like 3 days ago. When did I record this footage? Give me a sec. Hold on. Property... September 29th. What day was that? Thursday. I recorded this on Thursday. Look, it took me a while to condense my thoughts, okay?
I'm just the next line in some mediocre reviewer online that's drawing surface-level comparisons to 2 devices that really have no business being compared to each other.
Actually, I like that one more. I'm gonna go with this one. Windows 11 looks pretty. Mods, can we ban Ray real quick? I'm kidding.
Which really isn't an...
I'm kidding. Don't ban him. I'll make you a promise and guarantee that I'll have it out by the end of September. Listen! Shit happens, okay? Windows 11 ripped off KDE. It really did. When you look at the comparisons, it really did.
Anything new. I'm just the next line in some mediocre reviewer online that's drawing surface-level comparisons to two devices that really have no business being compared to each other.
Oh, I need to fix that. Do it. There we go. This is what editing is like. Get comfy, y'all.
I'm just the next in a long line of mediocre online reviewers that are drawing surface-level comparisons to two devices that really have no business being compared to each other.
You know what? Fuck. Normally when I edit, I'm pulling some notes from Angry Video Game Nerd, is that most of the time you can just kind of skip to the last take, and normally the last take is the one you want to use.
I've been a fan of Nintendo pretty much my whole life. See, I've been a fan of Nintendo for pretty much my whole life.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
I've been a fan of Nintendo pretty much my whole life. My first game console... See, I've been a fan of Nintendo pretty much my whole life.
Emphasis on mediocre. Yep. Just be like me, edit one video and then practically retire. That's what a friend of mine did. He started editing videos a while ago, and they were all kind of shit, but I didn't want to tell him that because he was learning, and then he stopped making videos, so I guess I never had to tell him. Be like me and plan a video and never do it. Hell yeah, buddy.
See,
I've been doing this shit for like 10 years at this point. So, like, one of the things that you have to balance when doing work like this is you need to know when to stop, you know?
Business being compared to each other. See, I've been a fan of Nintendo pretty much my whole life. Also was the N64. My first video game experience ever was with the Nintendo 64, Diddy Kong Racing to be specific.
Yeah, I'm keeping that one in. That's true, actually. The first video game I ever played was Diddy Kong Racing on the N64.
My first video game experience ever was with the Nintendo 64, Diddy Kong Racing to be specific. I own pretty much every Nintendo handheld. I own pretty much every Nintendo console and handheld.
That's true. That's also true.
I own pretty much every Nintendo console and handheld. I own pretty much every Nintendo console and handheld. I got multiple DSs, 3DSs. For God's sake, I still own my Wii U. Who owns a Wii U anymore?
That's also true. I'm looking at my Wii U right now.
I've got multiple variants of said handhelds. For God's sakes, I still own my Wii U. Who the fuck owns a Wii U anymore?
I've made like 100 videos that I've all enlisted and only showed to like 5 of my friends, basically full of inside jokes. I mean, that's how everyone starts out, you know? You start off making, you know, joke videos for your buds, and then, you know, people may or may not watch them. And then you can just start, like, taking it seriously. I say taking it seriously. It's like you can start, like, growing. Essentially, that's how I started, you know? I made a bunch of in-jokey bullshit videos for my buds. One of the first videos I ever made, I think, was... Oh my god, I'm drudging up some memories. Don't cancel me for this. I'm married to Shigeru Miyamoto. No, fuck Shigeru Miyamoto. When have you last played your Wii U? It's actually a good question. I almost played my Wii U on stream once. I think the last time I like played a Wii U game was the Monster Hunter 3 video that I did, I think this year. So I've played the Wii U pretty recently. Like my gamepad's not as coated in dust as it used to be. I had to look at it for a second.
I've got multiple variants of said handhelds. For God's sakes, I still own my Wii U. Who the fuck owns a Wii U anymore?
Yeah, I like that. I like that delivery. We're gonna keep that one.
I have multiple variants of said handhelds. For God's sake, I still own my Wii U. Who has a Wii U anymore? And the Switch was obviously the next... And when the Switch was unveiled, and when 2016, I just had to have it. And when the Switch was revealed in late 2016, I just had to have it. And when the Switch was revealed in late 2016, I just had to have it.
Yeah, we'll leave that one in. Fuck it. That's a good one right there.
And when the Switch was...
I'll cancel myself so you can't. Oh, I was completely gonna. Okay, no, don't cancel me for this. But the first videos I ever made was with a buddy of mine back in middle school. And we made our own little production thing. We called ourselves Retarded Studios because this was back when the word retarded wasn't as offensive as it is now. And we prided ourselves in being this like as stupid as we were, because we were middle schoolers, right?
Owns a Wii U anymore. And when the Switch was
Okay, we're gonna cut that down a little bit. Mainly what I'm gonna be focusing on in this video is I want to get the general flow of the script down, and that's kind of all I'm gonna be doing today. I'll go back and I'll record B-roll. I'll make markers for myself. I'll put down music. I'll put down music later. I'll do all that shit later. For now, I just want to make the flow of the script actually happen, because we're on the second one right now. We can make this happen.
In late 2016, I just had to have it. Was fantastic back then too. A hybrid device that was both a handheld. The pitch was solid too. A hybrid device that was effectively a home console that was also a handheld. You could take your handheld or home console, whatever, wherever you wanted with you. It was both a handheld and a console, effectively allowing you to take your home console wherever you want, or plop your handheld system onto a TV and properly get footage of it.
That was actually one of the big things that I really appreciated about the Switch, was being able to record it. God, I'm such a fucking idiot. Stream you editing this stream? No, I'm not going to edit this stream. Fuck you.
The pitch was fantastic back then too. A hybrid device that was both a handheld and a console, effectively allowing you to take your home console wherever you want, or plop your handheld system onto a TV and properly get footage of it.
Ugh. Yeah, my sinuses were a bit fucked. So if you hear me snort occasionally, that's why.
Footage of it.
Also, talking for long periods of time just kind of fucks up my sinuses. It's weird. I have weird sinuses.
Being that kid in high school that never left his home without his 3DS, you can see why this device appealed to me.
That's also true. I never left my house without my 3DS.
And I mean, being that kid who never left his house without his 3DS, you can see why the Switch appealed to me.
I'm a big fan of Nintendo, man. Or I was? I don't know. I've been a fan of Nintendo for a long time.
I mean, given that I was the kid who never left his home without his 3DS. I mean, considering I was the kid that never left his house without his 3DS, you can see why the Switch appealed to me.
I like the other one more. We're gonna keep this one.
And I mean, being a kid...
Sometimes it needs to catch up.
And I mean, being that kid who never left his house without his 3DS, you can see why the Switch appealed to me.
Oh, excuse me. Anyway.
I mean, given that I was the kid who never left his house considering I was the kid that never left his house. But, something's changed in the past few years. I'm looking at myself. I should be looking at the camera. Changed in the past... But honestly, something's changed in the past few years. The flaws with the Nintendo Switch...
Here we go. Bop. Bop. Then we'll do this. I'm honestly shocked that the new Zelda's coming out on the Switch and not the next Nintendo console. I'm not as surprised. They've done this before with Majora's Mask. Difference being is that one was made in like a year, less than a year. So, heavy asset reuse. This feels like Oh yeah, you can see the Rammy in the background. I just realized. Yeah, you can see all my bullshit behind me. Hey Dad, how you doing? I feel like they can't just abandon the Switch concept. It's not a gimmick like any other Nintendo feature. It's actually great. Pretty much. Pardon me. The Switch is a really, really nice concept, but they're like Nintendo's misstepping all over the place with things around their games, like their online services and shit like that.
Appealed to me. But honestly, something's changed in the past few years.
Here we go, and then we're going to change this here.
With the Nintendo Switch are more in my face than ever before. The flaws with both the Switch hardware and how Nintendo is handling said hardware are more in my face than ever before. The flaws with both the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo as a company are really more apparent to me than ever before.
There we go.
The flaws...
Brought my OG DS to school once. Came back with a GBA with extra face buttons. No! No! I got my DS Lite stolen from school one time. That was a fun day. Oh, man. Good times. Good times.
The flaws with both the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo as a company are really more apparent to me than ever before.
There we go. Don't want to delete the whole fucking clip.
The flaws with both the Switch and Nintendo as a company are more in my face than ever before.
Okay, yeah, I actually like that delivery more.
The flaws with both the Switch and Nintendo as a company are more in my face than ever before.
Here we go. Here we go.
And I can confidently say that the Steam Deck is exactly what I've wanted Nintendo to do with the concept of the Switch for several years now.
I might keep that one. I want to see how I do it later.
And
I really want a Switch Micro or a proper 3DS successor. I need a console that properly fits in my pocket. I mean, the Switch Lite kind of fits. Guitar Hero on Tour. Oh my god, I had Guitar Hero on Tour, and that was one of the games that was stolen. Ugh.
And I make it apparent that I have problems with Nintendo. And it's no secret that I have problems with Nintendo and how they're handling the Switch, so you can see why. And it's no secret that I have problems with Nintendo. I mean, I made like 4 or 5 videos on it. And it's no secret that I have problems with Nintendo. I mean, I've made like, 3 or 4 videos now based on some of the hot water they got themselves in or some of the controversial shit they've been doing.
You have a cool dad? Don't tell him that. Don't let him think that. One time I returned home and my 3DS lost its glossiness. Have no idea what happened while it was in my bag, but it turned matte green instead of shiny green? What the fuck? What? That's really weird. Like, maybe an eraser did something? No, an eraser wouldn't do that. I don't know, man. That's wild.
So, given all that history, and given what the Steam Deck is, I can confidently say that this is exactly what I've been wanting Nintendo to do with the Switch for a long time. And given all the stuff I've said about Nintendo in the past, I can confidently say that the Steam Deck is exactly what I've been wanting Nintendo to do with the Switch for the past 3 or 4 years now. Obviously, it's not a perfect device.
I mean, honestly, like, everything that I'm saying here is true. I mean, like, everyone here is just getting spoilers to the Steam Deck review, right? A bag that was made out of sandpaper. It sounds like it, honestly. I was like 9 years old, I had no clue. I think someone might have painted over it, and I just didn't understand. I don't know, man. Why would someone steal your 3DS just to paint over it? What? That's wild.
It's not going to work for Now, obviously, this thing isn't going to work for everybody. Do I think this is some grand Switch killer here to take Nintendo down a couple pegs? No. Obviously, this thing isn't going to work for everybody. But obviously, this thing isn't going to work for everybody. Do I think the Steam Deck is some grand Switch killer that's here to knock Nintendo down a few pegs? No, not really.
There we go. That sounds like a decent take.
Do I think the Steam...
There we go. Like, I don't think the Steam Deck is going to completely kill the Switch. The Switch is too ingrained in like the market of handheld video games, right? Like, I don't know. You're never like, I don't think anything is going to replace the Switch, but the Steam Deck's pretty damn close to doing that. I mean, it replaced it in my eyes, but I'm just one person, so nah.
See, the reason I'm making these connections is to just give context onto what my tastes already are and how the I almost called this the Switch. God damn it.
Jeez.
The reason I'm making these connections is to give you context of what I already appreciate in the Switch and how the Steam Deck expands upon that while making it a more open and PC-like environment. Because don't kid yourself, buddy. This thing's a PC, and it runs Linux.
There you go. Made the connection to Linux.
See, the reason I'm making these
Wish I still had it. Is like the shell was swapped or something? What the fuck? That's funny.
Connections is to illustrate what I already like about the Switch and how the
Okay, then. We got a super chat. Where's the notification? Hold on. Where's the alert? Is the alert gonna do it? I guess not. Come on. Ah, there it is. God, that took a while. All right, well now we saw a prime example of the new notifications. Wow. Super chat.
See, the reason I'm making these connections is to illustrate what I already like about the Switch and how the Steam Deck expands upon that and gives it more of a PC-like experience. Because don't kid yourself, bud. This thing's a PC, and it runs Linux. Don't kid yourself, bud. This thing's... Because don't kid yourself, bud.
I forgot to ask something? Yeah, you didn't put a message in that super chat.
Because don't kid yourself, bud. This thing here's a PC, and it runs Linux.
I might just keep this one, honestly.
Don't kid yourself, buddy. This thing's a PC, and it runs Linux.
Yeah, I like that one more. I'm just gonna keep the whole thing, honestly. All right, here we go.
But before we actually talk about the Linux experience, I feel like it's only necessary to talk about the hardware of the Steam Deck first.
I'm a K-noob? I think, are you just meaning to say just a noob?
But before we get into Linux and drive everybody away, why don't we talk about the hardware of the Steam Deck first?
One time I gave someone in class a PSP and it came back broken. What the fuck? Ah! Miller? Here? Okay.
Wow.
Pound 79? $2? Okay. Appreciate it. Just here. Just here. Okay, I guess. Thank you. Why is the editing stream like the most successful thing that I've been doing? Why? Is it because Linux? I don't know. I figured this shit was super boring.
But before we talk about all that nerd shit and Linux stuff, why don't we talk about the hardware of the Steam Deck first?
I'm gonna keep that take. That's a good one.
All that nerd shit. But before we get into all that nerd shit on Linux, why don't we talk about the hardware of this? I almost called it the Switch. God damn it.
I did that quite a bit during this.
But before we talk about the...
Whoops, that's my alt, lol. Okay. Have you considered using anything other than Resolve, or is that not something you're really interested in? Right now, Resolve is the most competent software. I love Linux. Woo! Resolve is the most competent software, right? I know yada yada Linux using open source software, but I don't think Kdenlive or Olive can compete with Resolve, like genuinely. I said this in that Linux podcast I was in. I agreed with the host of the podcast, Ryan. He's basically like, yeah, I'm just a kind of whatever the fuck user, and I use whatever works. And I'm kind of the same way. I'm not really concerned about using open source or proprietary software. I think fighting that battle is kind of unnecessary. So just using whatever works is good enough for me. And I've been using Resolve way before I switched over to Linux. Like, I've been using this shit on Windows too, because I hate Adobe. And I wanted to switch to something else. And Resolve was the best option for me at the time. And because it works on Linux, it worked out for me even more. I think Resolve is the best free software for sure. I have the paid version, so oops. Thank you, Dad.
But before we get into Linux and drive everybody away, but before we talk about all that nerd shit and Linux stuff, why don't we talk about the hardware of the Steam Deck first?
Yes, I'm aware. Technically, the Switch runs on Linux. I mean, it's running Android, so, I mean, that's Linux.
But before we talk about all... It runs Linux. But before we talk about all that nerd shit and Linux...
Here we go. I'll go in and I'll, like, really adjust everything later. What convention smells worse, anime or Linux? The Smash Brothers tournament. Doesn't matter where it is, it's always a Smash Brothers tournament. I actually experienced that in real life. So I went to a general, like, gaming and comic convention in my city, and there was a Smash tournament there. And when you walked into the Smash area, you got hit with this waft of fucking stench and BO. It was like, I thought it was just all memes, but no, it's real. The Smash tournament genuinely smelled awful at that convention. It was so bad. It was so bad. Granted, this was a few years ago. I think this was I think they were still playing Smash 4. So, been a bit. I went to a Smash Ultimate tournament and they didn't smell bad there, so maybe it was just a convention.
But before we talk about all that nerd shit and Linux stuff, why don't we talk about the hardware of the Steam Deck first?
Oh, don't even get me fucking started on League of Legends, jeez. Mango smells great. How dare you? How dare you? I don't know, man. After everyone in the Smash community got outed at... Well, not everybody. After, like, a lot of people in the Smash community got outed as predators, I just kind of stopped playing Smash and really paying attention to it. So, it's like, I just didn't want to get involved in that, you know? Didn't want to lump myself in with that crowd.
But before we get into all that nerd shit on Linux, before we start talking about all that nerd shit and Linux stuff, why don't we actually talk about the hardware of the Steam Deck first? We should talk about the hardware of the Steam Deck first. I'll be honest, I was a bit worried about the hardware of the Steam Deck. Mainly because of this guy. We're having a lot of visual elements in this review today. I'll be honest, I was a bit worried about the hardware of the Steam Deck. Mainly because of this guy. We're having a lot of visual elements in this review today. Lots of stuff, lots of physical objects that we're drawing comparisons to.
I'm gonna keep that in. Actually, I like how I delivered that. Oh, excuse me.
We're having a lot of visual because of this guy. We're having a lot of visual elements in this review today. Lots of stuff.
How is it listening to yourself for hours on end? I hate it. But guess what? That's what editing is. See, Jamian and I agreed, because Jamian's like the only guy I talk to regularly who's like as deep into film and video production as I am. I don't talk to Jake as much anymore, but Jamie and I talk to like every day. He and I agree that in order to edit, you need to be crazy. You need to be crazy or artistic or like genuinely. Or some combination of the two. Like, you need to have something wrong with you to be an editor. And I'm just kind of used to it, you know?
I'll be honest.
Oh, here we go. I need to delete that. I didn't even notice the Steam controller. Yeah, I managed to get a Steam controller. I got one right as they were going out of production. And Valve was off-selling all of their unsold stock for like $15. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm never... Like, it's going to be pretty hard to get this thing after it's done. I might as well splurge the $15-20 and just get it. And I did. And you'll see what I think about the Steam controller.
Now, I will forgive you if you don't exactly know what the Steam controller is. And while it might look like your average, everyday video game controller, it's actually an ancient torture device that was crafted by Gabe Newell himself before he achieved his immortality.
That's what I think about the Steam controller.
Now, I will forgive you if you don't exactly know what the Steam controller is. And while it might look like your average, everyday video game controller, it's actually an ancient torture device that was crafted by Gabe Newell himself before. I'll forgive you if you don't immediately Steam control. Recognize the Steam.
Hold on. I'm actually going to listen to this
Now,
take.
I'll forgive you if you don't immediately recognize the Steam controller because, you know, while this might look like your average, everyday video game controller, it's actually an ancient torture device developed by Gabe Newell before he achieved his immortality. Actually, an ancient torture device.
Actually, I kind of like the first take. I think the first take was the best one.
I mean, just look at this man's beard. Clearly a wizard. Just look at this man's beard. He's clearly a wizard.
I have returned. I saw one at the flea market, but it didn't have the adapter, so I didn't bought it only for Valve to add Bluetooth support like a month later. Wait, there's Bluetooth support on this shit? I didn't know that.
It is said... Now, it's said that... Just look at this man's beard. He's clearly a wizard.
Yeah, there you go.
It's actually an ancient torture device that was crafted by Gabe Newell himself before he achieved his immortality. Just look at this man's beard. He's clearly a wizard.
Let's be honest. If you look at Gabe Newell's beard, you'd think that man's a wizard.
Now, it's said that long ago, a rogue Valve employee rediscovered this. It's said that this ancient design was rediscovered by a rogue Valve employee after a failed attempt to try to steal some of Gabe's knife collection.
We're pulling a lot of deep-cut Valve references in this video.
It's said that the ancient design was rediscovered by a rogue Valve employee in an attempt to steal some of Gabe's knife collection. Unfortunately, though, this rogue, mysterious Valve employee failed in his endeavor and was eventually caught by Gabe himself. Unfortunately, this rogue Valve employee was, unfortunately, though, the tale does not end well for said employee.
Where is Gaben's glorious beard? Fuck, I'll add it later. I'm not focusing on the goddamn video effects right now.
Unfortunately, this tale does not end well for said rogue employee. In the middle of trying to snatch some precious knives to sell on the CSGO black market, he was caught by Mr. Gabe himself.
I wonder if Valve will ramp up hardware production, because right now it seems like the Deck and Index are pretty high quality, overall good products. The Index, I think, is pretty good. I haven't used it personally, so I don't know. But the Deck, absolutely, the Deck is a really, really good product. I am very, very happy with it. Getting a lot of deep Valve lore. Yeah, we really are in this video.
In the middle of trying to snatch some precious knives for said employee. In the middle of trying to snatch some precious knives to sell on the CSGO black market, he was caught by Mr. Gabe himself.
Have you ever seen the original Team Fortress? Oh, I've seen the original Team Fortress. I played it years ago on that old shitty laptop I had.
Employee. In the middle of trying to snatch some precious knives to sell on the CSGO black market, he was caught by Mr. Gabe himself. Grand Wizard Gabe, that's not okay. Excuse me. I almost called him Grand Wizard Gabe. That's not okay.
I'm not leaving that in. This is a stream exclusive bit that I almost called Gaben the fucking Grand Wizard.
So, as punishment for his insubordination, Gabe personally sentenced him to be the only developer that's still working on Team Fortress 2 to this very day.
We're getting a lot of fucking deep Valve lore. These are some deep Valve jokes. I don't know if everyone's gonna understand it, but hey, it's fine. Have you seen the third Team Fortress? Only Gabe has. Yep, pretty much.
Now, as punishment for his insubordination, this rogue employee was sentenced by the Council of Valve to be the only dev who's still working on Team Fortress 2 to this very day. Cursed to forever be the...
Actually, I like that one. I like the Council of Valve. That's funny. That's a funny bit.
Punishment for his insubordination, the Council of Valve sentenced this one rogue employee to be the only dev who's still working on Team Fortress 2. And you can still hear his screams in the back recesses of 2 Fort. And you can still hear his screams in the deepest corners of 2 Fort.
I don't think anyone's gonna understand this entire bit that I've crafted here. I don't care. It's hilarious. By the way, for this, I plan on reinstalling TF2, going into 2 Fort, and like filming it and putting some screams somewhere in the background. Getting caught stealing knives, unlike the Payday gang. Okay.
And you can still hear his screams in the deepest corners of 2 Fort. But a different employee saw that this was rediscovered and said, hey, why don't we just fucking gaslight everybody into think that this piece of shit was worth $60? Then a different employee saw this and... You know what? But then Gabe saw this design again after thousands of years of dormancy and said to himself, you know what'd be funny? Let's gaslight everybody into believing that this piece of shit's worth $60. But then Gabe saw this gaslight everyone into let's just do this big public gaslighting project. Like public gaslighting. But this isn't a review of the Steam controller. This is a review of its
Okay, so actually we're gonna have to cut all this and go to number 3, I believe, because I think it was around the 3rd recording that I discovered I was using an old copy of the script.
I've got multiple variants of be honest, I wrote like two technical things and talk about to make them sound.
Hold on, I have to put this away. I think it was number 4. I'm pretty sure it was number 4. Hold on. One of these is the bit that I forgot. I realized I mistyped stealing instead of steaming. Too much steam on the mind.
We're gonna talk about steam machines, okay? Talk about steam machines.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about steam machines because I was using an old draft of the script when I first started recording. Oops. So now we're gonna talk about steam machines.
I should also talk about steam machines because I'm gonna be referencing them a lot in this review, and some of y'all might not be up to speed. I should also like really talk about what the steam machines were, because that was the steam machine was half step between the steam machines. Also like discuss what the steam machine was, because I'm gonna reference them a lot in this video, and some of y'all might not know what it is.
What is it? Do the touchpads on the controller feel the same as the Dex trackpads? When do the trackpads come in handy? The trackpads do not feel the same as on the Steam Deck. They feel noticeably cheaper. The Valve learned a lot from developing the Steam controller. Like here, listen to this. That was me pressing the trackpad on the Steam controller. This is the loudest, clickiest fucking controller I've ever used. The shoulder buttons are loud as fuck, the triggers are loud as fuck, the back buttons, like it's just a loud controller. And it feels pretty cheap a lot of the time. Like I feel like $20 was a good price point for that. But on the Steam Deck, the trackpads are way better. And when the trackpads come in handy, honestly, they don't really come in handy all that much. I think the biggest reason to use the trackpads would be to play Kid Icarus Uprising on Citra. That's kind of it. I don't really use the trackpads much. I tried. I really tried to make it work, but it's just the trackpads ain't great. You know, I like how they're handled on the Steam Deck more than the controller itself.
The Steam machines were Valve's original attempt at what would eventually become the Steam Deck. They were this sort of half-step.
Oh, I'm not looking at the camera because I planned on having B-roll in these shots.
The Steam machines were Valve's original attempt at what would eventually become the Steam Deck.
There we go. Wait, hang on. What is this? It's probably similar to the Vive controllers, as they were partly made by Valve, and I believe they have trackpads with them. Terrible VR controller. I've never used the HTC Vive. The only one that I've used is the Oculus Rift, the first edition with the like over the knuckles controllers. The Oculus Rift controllers are actually really nice. At least the older ones were. The newer ones I've never used, and I don't like the look of them. One of these days I'll get my hands on a Valve Index, and that's gonna be really nice. The problem though is that VR doesn't really work on Linux right now, which is kind of wild. But whatever. I'll get to it eventually. There we go.
I should also like discuss what the Steam machine was, because I'm going to reference them a lot in this video, and some of y'all might not know what it is. Machines.
Oop. I fucked it.
The Steam machines were Valve's original attempt at what would eventually become the Steam Deck. They were this sort of half-step between console and PC, running on the first version of Valve's Linux-based operating system, now called SteamOS. They were sort of a half-step between console and PC, and they were running on the first versions of Valve's Linux-based operating system, SteamOS.
That's a fine take, honestly.
And we'll talk about...
well, that's the only take I got. Gotta work with it. That's the problem with my methods of recording videos, is just that I'll think that a take is really nice, and then I'll go back in editing, and it's like, that take was not really nice. Why didn't you record more, you fucking idiot?
Again, we're going to talk about Steam Machine, but again, we're going to talk about Linux later. Let's talk about history first. But again, we're going to talk about Linux later, so I want to get this history out of the way first. The idea was...
Bop. And then we'll hit this button. There we go. Wonder how the Steam Deck dock is going to be like. Will the deck boost this like the Switch does in dock mode to perform 1080p at a higher power consumption? I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see. Because right now, I actually do have a, oh my god, pardon me, a dock for my Steam Deck. It's just some random Anchor USB-C, dock thing. It doesn't do much for the video feed or anything like that. So I'm really curious to see what Valve does with their dock. Like, it needs to set itself apart. It can't just be a USB-C dock. You know what I mean? Like any fucking cheapo USB-C dock can handle that, right? If Valve is going to release their own thing, they might as well have it do something cool.
Valve would work closely with big-name PC manufacturers. The idea was simple. Valve would work closely with big-name PC manufacturers. The idea was simple. Valve would work closely with big-name PC manufacturers and create custom, small form factor systems that Valve would then sell directly on the Steam marketplace.
See, because I'm reading from the script itself, because I have the script up on my screen while I'm doing this, I felt like doing less takes was okay, just because I know I'm gonna have B-roll up on these screens, so I'm not real concerned about getting my hand, like, I talk with my hands a lot. I'm doing it right now, so I'm not concerned about getting, like, the reason that I do a lot of retakes is just because I'm doing something stupid with my hands, or I misspeak, or I'm not looking at the camera. So if I'm just looking at the screen and I know there's going to be B-roll, I'm not really going to be focusing too much on that. So I do less takes overall. Give me one quick second. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Let me just add some text. Hold on, where is it? Shit, where's the text? Is there no text? Is there no text? Oh, there it is. Going to a bathroom, BRB. Oh, hang on. Okay, I will be back here in a sec. Let me unmute this music. Okay. I return. Where's that text? There it is. Honestly, I'm just gonna leave the music on. I like the music. Because I don't have any music going on in this video, so it's not really gonna be that big of a deal. I'll leave it going. Fuck it, why not?
But again, we're gonna talk about Linux later, so I wanna get this history out of the way first. The idea was simple. Valve would work closely with big-name PC manufacturers and create custom, small form factor systems that Valve would then sell directly on the Steam marketplace. They'd also come with SteamOS by default. You'd be able to install Windows on it. They'd also come with SteamOS by default.
Poke Village is great. It's a great tune. It's so relaxing, man.
Come with SteamOS by default, but you'd be able to install Windows on it if you really wanted to.
There we go.
They'd also come with SteamOS by default, but you'd be able to install Windows on it if you really wanted to.
I mean, in theory, the plan for the Steam machines was pretty simple, at least from a consumer perspective. SteamOS isn't bad, at least the version that we have now on the Steam Deck. I don't know how it was back then because I've never actually owned a Steam machine. We'll get to that in the review, though.
But you'd be able to install Windows on it if you really wanted to. There were versions by Alienware, iBuyPower, Origin PC, not the EA Games Launcher, Gigabyte, Zotac, and a bunch more. There were versions by Alienware, iBuyPower, Origin PC, not the EA Games Launcher, Gigabyte, Zotac, and honestly, so much more. Like, it's kind of wild how many manufacturers got on board with the Steam Machine initiative.
Ah! There we go. There were too many Steam Machine options. Yeah. There were a lot. It was almost like picking a Linux distro, honestly. There were so many different versions of it that just had minor tweaks. You know, it's just, you can see why it failed, you know, in hindsight.
Honestly, it was a good idea. Honestly, at the time, it seemed like a good idea. And honestly, at the time, it seemed like a good idea. And honestly, at the time, it seemed like a good idea.
I had no need for one, but, you know, some people might. That was one of the things that killed it. Oh yeah, there was plenty that killed it.
Custom, low-cost, custom, low-cost systems that would have the benefits of both a console and a PC. Custom, low-cost systems that would have the benefits of both a console and a PC. You get that nice, clean, easy-to-use interface, but also have it be fully upgradable and serviceable by the end user, and all backed by some of the biggest manufacturers in PC history. So you'd get a clean, easy-to-use interface, a fully serviceable system, a fully serviceable and upgradable system, and all of this is backed by some of the biggest names in PC gaming.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to, like, stitch this shit together. That's fine.
Use interface.
Nope, wrong button. And then we will split this. I kind of can't read my buttons. I have a darker light on. Still want to track down an old Steam machine just to check it out. I looked on eBay, and Steam Links. I know that Steam Links are going for pretty cheap if you look hard enough. Because I looked online and I was like, oh, how much are Steam controllers going for? Like, if you look hard enough, you can get one for like 30 to 40 bucks, which isn't too bad, you know? It's not the 20 that I got mine for, but, you know, that's what you get for missing out on the whole thing.
So you'd get a clean, easy-to-use interface, a fully serviceable and upgradable system.
Nope, hang on. Uh-oh.
And all of this is backed by some of the biggest names in PC gaming. So you'd get a clean, easy-to-use interface, a fully serviceable and upgradable system, and all of this is backed by some of the biggest names in PC gaming.
Try servicing a Steam machine now, chump. Alright, listen, I'm trying to sell people on this, and then I'm gonna hit them with, yeah, and they fucking died. That's the point. I'm building up to a joke.
Like, yeah, why wouldn't you get on board with this? Like, yeah, why wouldn't you get on board with this? The biggest issue with the Steam machines, however, is that they were a massive failure.
There you go. There's the joke. There's the punchline.
Steam machines, however, is that they were a massive failure. The biggest issue with the Steam machines, though, is that they were a massive failure. Here's an excerpt from Ars Technica. Here's an excerpt from Ars Technica that says that they were dead on arrival. Ouch. Here's an excerpt from Ars Technica that says the Steam machines were dead on arrival. Here's an excerpt from Ars Technica that said that the Steam machines were, quote, dead on arrival.
I almost bought one in 2017. Part of me wishes I got one, but at the end of the day, I'm not missing out on anything. So, you know,
Here's an excerpt from Ars Technica that said that the Steam machines were, quote, dead on arrival.
I mean, they were. They were pretty much dead on arrival.
Ouch. Ouch.
And Valve didn't help anything by, Valve didn't really support the Steam machines that well, and that was kind of what made people wary of the Steam Deck. But thankfully, Valve cleaned up their act and is actually supporting the fucking Steam Deck, so everyone's happy with that.
As far as I can tell, the real reason the Steam machines failed were because of two main factors. As far as I can tell, the reason the Steam machines failed was because of two main factors.
Bump.
First,
you almost can't say failure without laughing in this context with how bad they flopped. It was, oh man, the Steam machines were so bad, dude. There were people back when the Steam machine, or when the Steam Deck was first announced, that were like, hey guys, remember how Valve fucked us all over with the Steam machines? Be careful with this. And you know what? Fair enough to those people. I can't blame anybody.
First factor being Linux, which again, we're going to talk about later. Just be patient. First factor is Linux, which again, we're going to talk about later. Just be patient. And the second was the fact, and the second was that the first factor is Linux, which again, we're going to first factor being Linux, which again, we're going to talk about later. Just be patient.
There you go. I was one of those people. Fair enough, honestly. Like, I don't blame anybody for being wary after the Steam machines, man. They were such a dramatic failure.
And the second was that, at least at the time, people didn't want this weird half step between PC and console. They wanted either end of the extreme. The second, and the other factor was and the fact that most people, and the second was this weird, and the second was this weird notion that people at the time, remember, this was like 2000, I think 15.
It's like 2000, it was like 2015, 2016 when the Steam machines were a thing, I'm pretty sure.
And the second was that most people at the time just generally didn't want a device like this. They wanted either a dedicated home console or a dedicated high-end PC.
I mean, that's true. People are still kind of like that today.
And the second was that most people at the time...
I feel like hardware is caught up, though. You know, you can get some pretty high-end systems. The Steam Deck, really, in its price range, is kind of a fucking golden goose. So, like, you can't... Like, it's hard to compare the Steam Deck to things like the Aya Neo or whatever. Aya Neo Next? Whatever it is. The 1X player? 2015 to 2017? Okay, then. There you go. I was correct.
And the second was that most people at the time just generally didn't want a device like this. They wanted either a dedicated home console or a dedicated high-end PC. The second was that most people at the time didn't want this half step between console and PC. They wanted either a console or a dedicated at-home high-end PC.
I like that delivery a bit more. I'm going to go with this one.
And the second was that most people at the...
Again, right now I'm just, what is it? I'm just trying to get the flow all going down, you know? I don't need to, I'm not going to focus too much on making the video pop. Because the way that I edit is I go through once and get all the cuts that I like, then I go back and add all the visual effects and gags and shit like this. Dedicated. Yep.
Now, I've never owned a Steam machine, so I can't give you personal experience on what they were like. Now, I don't own a Steam machine. I never owned one, so I can't really give you personal experience on them.
Oop. There we go.
Now, I don't own a Steam machine. I never owned one, so I can't really give you personal experience on them. But I did have a friend who owned one. I don't really talk to them anymore.
Yeah. My friend back then who bought one back in 2015, man, he was real disappointed.
Friend who owned one. I don't really talk to them anymore, but I did have a friend who owned one. Now, I don't really talk to them anymore, so,
Steam Machine 2.0. I kind of want Valve to try again, you know? Steam OS is really, really nice now, and I feel like they could genuinely, like with this custom AMD SoC, I feel like they could go pretty far with dedicated, with a Steam Machine 2.0.
Now, I don't really talk to them anymore, but I do remember that they were insanely disappointed with their Steam machine. Now, I don't really talk to them anymore, but I do remember that they were insanely disappointed with their Steam machine. I don't really talk to them anymore, but I do remember that they were insanely disappointed with, and they were like a capital G gamer, right? Like this device was specifically made for someone like this, and yet the Steam machine just gathered dust on his home entertainment center. And they were like a capital G gamer, like this device was specifically made for them, and yet the Steam Deck, and yet their Steam machine specifically made for them. And yet their Steam machine just ended up gathering dust and was rarely ever used. It's honestly kind of sad.
It is a little sad, you know? Sad that he invested all this time and effort and money into his Steam machine, and yet, you know, never really got any use out of it.
Unfortunately, their Steam Deck never got much use and ended up just gathering
Steam Deck.
And roughly 7 years later, and tons of development later,
Capital G gamer. Yep. I mean, they still kind of are a capital G gamer. Like, you would figure that a device like the Steam machine would, if you knew this person, you would say like, oh yeah, this is like, he's the demographic for this. Whatever.
And roughly 7 years later, after tons of development, Valve decides to finally release the Steam Deck. And roughly 7 years after that initial disappointment, Valve decided, you know what? We're gonna make something good this time, and announced the Steam Deck.
There we go. We're finally bringing it back full circle.
Finally, we're getting back to the main point of discussion in this video after how many minutes? Fuck. Whatever. Let's just start talking about the hardware.
Reusing all my jokes, just in a live format.
Finally, we're getting back to the main point of discussion in this video after how many minutes? Fuck. Whatever. Let's just start talking about the hardware. I'm gonna re-record the bit on my on the controller over here because I prefer how this is written because I was using an old draft of the fucking script in the first bit of this video, so record this. The deck is just genuinely on like the top of my tier list of controllers.
Okay, we will cut this part out, and we will use it later. We'll get back to this, because again, remember, I'm using an old draft of the. I was using an old draft of the script when I recorded this initially, like an idiot.
I'll be honest, I wrote like 2 full pages. Finally, we're getting back to the main point of discussion in this video. Steam Deck it's hard.
You can kind of see like the advancement of the day. Like, you can tell it's darker in this shot than in this shot. You can see how I should have closed my window. God damn it. Well, whatever. I'll fix that later in editing, I guess. Right now, I'm not gonna fix it now, but I'll fix it later. I'll just keep that in mind.
I'll be honest, I wrote like I think 2 full pages. I'll be honest, I wrote like, I think 2 to 3 full pages on how I feel about the Steam Deck's hardware, but if you really care, but I'm not gonna go like too in depth on the hardware. I'll be honest, I wrote like, I think 2 to 3 full pages on how I feel about the Steam Deck's hardware, but if you really care, hardware, but I'm not gonna, because honestly, I'm no expert. But
yep, hang on.
But I'm not gonna go like too in depth on the hardware itself, because honestly, I'm no itself, because because honestly, I'm no expert. It's not really my place to talk about performance. So let's skip like because honestly, on the hardware itself.
Oh, great. I fucked up some takes. Now I have to, like, do some pro gamer editing. Damn it. Whatever.
Because honestly, I'm no expert in the hardware itself. Because honestly, I'm no expert. It's not really my place to talk about performance metrics and...
That actually sounds okay.
Hardware itself. Because honestly, I'm no expert. It's not really my place to talk about
You know what? We're gonna do a little bit of a trick. We're gonna do a little bit of a trick. There we go.
Cause honestly, I'm no hardware itself. Cause honestly, I'm no
So you can't even tell that there's a little transition there. That's funny.
itself. Cause honestly, I'm no expert. It's where itself. Cause honestly, I'm
The only people who will know are you. All of you watching right now.
Because honestly, I'm no expert. It's not really my place to talk about performance metrics and graphs and frame rates and shit like that. Even though I care deeply about it, you've already got people like Gamers Nexus and Linus Tech Tips who do all that in-depth testing for us.
Which is true. I don't give a shit.
So let's skip like technical things and talk about things that I care about. You know, it's my review. So let's skip some of those technical things and talk about more objective things. So let's skip a lot of those like technical aspects of the hardware and talk about some of the bigger things that I care about. So yeah, I'm not gonna go too in depth on like the performance metrics of this thing. I'm just gonna talk about little things in the hardware that I've come to appreciate. So yeah, I'm not really gonna talk.
Honestly, I'm just gonna go with this one. This one seems okay. Hello. Go back.
Starting with the controls because they just feel really good.
Okay, here we go. Now we get to the controls bit.
Starting with the controls because they just feel really good. The deck is just genuinely on like the top of my tier list of controls. The Steam Deck is just on. The Steam Deck is just unironically at the top of my tier list of video game controllers. The deck is just unironically at the. You got the 8BitO Pro 2, you got the GameCube controller, and you got this. You got the 8BitO Pro 2, you got the GameCube controller, and you got the deck. My official.
There we go. Welcome to boring time. Who here is fully involved in boring time? Yeah. Fucking editing. I love it.
My official crowned kings of controllers. My official These three are my official PAV-approved crowned king of controllers. Kings? Multiple. Yeah, the three kings. If Valve made a standalone controller that would
Switch Pro controller's pretty nice. It would be nice if the joysticks didn't drift and the D-pad didn't suck.
Yeah, the three kings. Like, if Valve made a standalone controller that was the Steam Deck, like replacing the screen and giving us all the trackpads and haptics and everything, I'd buy one. I'd buy two, honestly. And the trackpads, ooh. Starting with the controls. Spoiler alert, they're pretty damn good. The D-pad, I thought the placement of it, I thought the placement of the D-pad.
I'm stubborn, said I'd be here, so dang it, I'll stay it out of pure abstinence. Obstinence? Not abstinence, what am I thinking of? Abstinence is a different thing. Obstinence. Words are hard, fuck off.
I thought the placement of the D-pad here on the far left-hand side of the deck would be a problem. Like, I thought the placement, like starting off with the D-pad, I thought the placement of it would cause some problems, but no, I can reach it just fine. And that's what I get from this control setup.
I need a haircut, goddammit.
Carefully laid out than something like the Steam controller. Ironically, since Valve went through like, 40 renditions of this. And the trackpads. Ooh, the trackpads are deceptively nice. No, I can reach it just fine.
You know what? Where's the other take of this?
Controls. I thought the placement of the D-pad here on the far left-hand side of the deck would be a problem. Like starting off with the D-pad.
It's fine.
Like starting off with the D-pad, I thought the placement of it fully laid out than something like the Steam controller. Ironic pads. And when I say deceptively nice.
Steam controller 1.5. I would buy Steam controller 1.5. Steam controller 2.
The Steam Deck is just unironically at the top of my tier list of video game controllers. You got the 8BitDo Pro 2, you got the GameCube controller, and you got the deck. These three are my official, PAV-approved, crowned king of controllers. Kings? Multiple, yeah, the three kings. Like, if Valve made a standalone controller that was the Steam Deck, like replacing the screen and giving us all the trackpads and haptics and everything, I'd buy one. I'd buy two, honestly. Like, starting off with the D-pad, I thought the placement of it would cause some problems, but no, I can reach it just fine. Trackpads. Ooh, the trackpad. And the trackpads. Ooh, the track.
Ooh, lag.
And the trackpads. Ooh, the trackpads are deceptively nice. And when I say deceptive, I mean, like, when the device is off, they don't really feel like anything special. See, I say deceptively because when the device is off, it's the software. I don't really know what to call them. But no, it's the software. See, I say deceptively because when the device is off and you're fiddling with the trackpads, they don't really feel like anything special. They just feel like two little trackpads with springs underneath them. But no, it's the
come on.
But no, it's the software and the haptic feedback that gives it those satisfying, I don't really know what to call them. They're not really clicks, just that nice feedback. Like when you're using the left trackpad as a D-pad, like it feels like a D-pad. It's bizarre, but I'm a fan. You're using the left trackpad as a D-pad because by default you can just do that. Like, it's deceptively nice feeling. Like, I didn't expect to like it as much, considering the Steam controllers' trackpads were kind of finicky and hard to press, but gotta say, I'm a fan.
Actually, I want to keep that whole thing in. That sounds good.
Like, when you're using the left trackpad as a D-pad, because by default you can just do that, like, it's deceptively nice feeling. Like, I didn't expect to like it as much, considering the Steam controllers' trackpads were kind of finicky and hard to press, but gotta say, I'm a fan.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I've been converted. I like how it feels on the Steam Deck more. And that's kind of like what... And that's kind of getting into like my general thoughts of the controls on this thing. Like, it feels like Valve learned lessons with the Steam controller. And that's kind of my entire point on the control setup of the Steam Deck. Like, it feels like Valve learned something and expanded upon the Steam controller.
That's true.
And that's my point, right? Like, and that's my point, right? It feels like Valve learned a lot of lessons with the Steam controller and even expanded upon it, like the introduction of the haptic response. Fuck. My point, right? And that's my point, right? It feels that Valve learned.
Actually, that nice lead-in with the control sticks is good.
And hard to press, but gotta say, I'm a fan. And that's my point. Right, it feels that Valve learned a lot of lessons on the Steam controller and expanded upon that, like with the new capacitive joysticks on the Steam Deck.
Those capacitive joysticks. Hello? Are we back? Hello. It says I'm live again. Wi-Fi rebooted, I think. Oh, lovely. Are we good? Are we back? Are we reconnected? Verify it's me. Oh, god damn it. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay. You use a okay, can I still be heard? I use a VPN? Shut up! Shut up! You don't see that! You don't see that! Hold on. Shit. Okay, there we go. Successfully reconnected. Hello, we're back. Yes. Are we good? I don't know why, but my Wi-Fi just kind of fucking just died for a second. Okay. Okay. We're back. We're back. We're good. It's all fine. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Wi-Fi rebooted. No idea why that happened. Well, I mean, I guess if we're still here, it's all that really matters. I just realized I haven't been recording. Yeah, whatever. I use one too, don't worry. Yeah, like, okay. I was just using a VPN for, what is it? Totally legal reasons. Absolutely, yes. This stream brought to you by NordVPN. Fuck NordVPN. Fuck NordVPN, dude. ExpressVPN, fuck them too. Garbage. Garbage fucking services.
Oh my god, dude. These joysticks. I didn't think I was gonna like their capacitive tops as much as I did, but genuinely, I think this is new. Like, this should be the new standard.
Yeah. New standard.
Because think about it. You have a new input without resorting to doing whatever bullshit this is.
Like, the capacitive tops and the control sticks are a really, really smart addition. Same reason why I use one. I got a DMCA notice for using a peer service to download something totally legal. Wink. Okay, dude. Speaking of VPNs, I'm actually gonna briefly talk about this. Netflix fucking sucks. I was trying to watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners with my friends, and we were using Netflix because, you know, it's on Netflix. And while we're using it, while we're watching the show, like, we're sitting down to, like, finish the show. We were on the last, like, 3 episodes. By the way, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, very, very good. If you haven't watched it yet, please watch it. It'll make you hurt. But it's good. We sit down to do it, and I turn on my stream, and I have my VPN on, and I just kind of forgot that it was on. And so I go to Netflix, and Cyberpunk Edge Runners straight up was made unavailable to me because I was connecting via a VPN. Fuck Netflix, dude. Fuck Netflix. And the fact that a lot of their shows, and Marvel and Disney and all this shit, the fact that they're not releasing physical versions of their shows, fuck them. Piracy is like a moral obligation at that point. If these big companies aren't going to let us fucking have these copies in physical form, then they're forcing us to pirate them. Fuck them. I don't care anymore. And that was my dedicated fuck all and any and all subscription services. Every single one of them is a scam. Buy your fucking movies and TV shows. Buy physical versions or digital versions and download them and cut out the DRM. Buy your music on Bandcamp. Get physical books or get like a fucking, I don't know how e-readers work. That's why I use Kodi and Real Debrid. I don't pay for streaming services. Fuck them. They're overpriced. And I'm not paying a sub to watch one TV show. Miss me with that shit. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much the same with me. I do not care, man. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I have stopped caring at all. Hold on. Live chat. There we go. Remember to hit that like and subscribe. Remember to like and subscribe. I pay for Real Debrid for a year, and bam, I can watch any TV show or movie. We have a Plex server. Honestly, part of me wants to do members only film watch-alongs. I would essentially be doing it the way that HoloLive does it, where they don't they do it in a really, really smart way, where they don't play the movie on stream and they're only showing the reactions of the streamer. And it's up to, like, if you want to watch the movie with them, you have to find some way to watch it on your own end and play both the streams at the same time. Can't subscribe again. I can't subscribe. I would because I love Pav. Well, thank you, and that's fine. You don't need to subscribe to me or become a membership or whatever. You don't need to worry about that. What is it? But at some point, like, I would like to start introducing stuff like that. I felt really strongly that I didn't like. I'm gonna take a little break from editing because my fucking eyes are glazing over right now, and it's just like, look at how much shit. We're only 9 minutes into this shit. We are 9 minutes into this video, and I've been live for 2 hours. Oh man, I hope this video does well, man. I fucking pray this video does well. It probably won't, but I pray it does well, cause like, oh, I'm gonna be working on this video for the next like 2 or 3 weeks. I swear to God. I'm also not going to stream the entire editing process. I might do a couple more editing streams of this, but yeah, it's been fun to show off the editing process and everything. Talk about specific Linux shit. But anyway, yeah, I want to start getting more enticing stuff. Linux/Steam Deck stuff is big right now. You'll get a lot of views. Man, I fucking hope so. I fucking hope so. Because that's the thing with doing online content, is you're never gonna really know what takes off. I had no idea that Monster Hunter 4 video I did a few years ago was gonna take off as high as it did. The YouTube algorithm will make sure it flip-flops. Yeah, that sounds like the YouTube algorithm, honestly. I never expected the Monster Hunter videos to do well. I never expected the Citra tutorial video to get 40,000 views. That's the only video I have that has anywhere near that kind of viewership. I never, like, and I looked at the analytics, and I was wondering where everyone was coming from. Turns out, if you just Google Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Citra, I'm like the second result on Google. So that was pretty wild to find out, and that's where all those fucking views come from. I knew it would. I didn't know. I thought that video was like extremely low effort. I guess that just comes with, you know, doing this shit for 10 plus years. Is your view of what does and doesn't count as high effort is what am I saying? Scope creep. I'm thinking of scope creep. People really like tutorials. I guess they do. I guess they do. Well, you know what's funny though? The dolphin video. Like I did a tutorial on how to dump how to homebrew a Wii and dump GameCube and Wii games for use on Dolphin. That video didn't get nearly the viewership as 4 Ultimate. 4U heads like me are starved for content. I guess that's kind of where it comes from, you know? 4 Ultimate is a surprisingly popular game. And people are kind of latching on to 4 Ultimate content. So, I kind of want to bring back 4 Ultimate, to be perfectly honest with you. I just need to put in the work to get that back up and running on the Fedora system. Because I backed up all my files and everything onto our NAS cluster. But I just need to actually get the save file back and get the HD texture pack and all that shit and reset everything up. And it just takes a bit. Like, it takes like an hour, if even, to get it set up, but it's just that hour I just don't want to deal with it right now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna equate this to resetting your mods in like any game that you play. Do it, coward. I want to play 4U again, man. 4U is fun, and like I've just kind of stopped playing Rise. I don't know. Maybe I'm just Monster Huntered out for the time being, because I've been playing a lot of other stuff. Like I played through Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, and that game is so fucking good, dude. So good. Like, I knew that game was good, but I finally beat it for the first time, and yeah, no, the ending was super flaccid, but it's a Mario game, you know, what do you expect? Yeah. Now I'm playing through Metroid Fusion again. That game is still really good, and I'm playing all this shit on the Steam Deck, by the way. Like, I didn't talk about emulation at all in this initial Steam Deck video, because I'm gonna do more videos in the future, so, like, I'll talk about emulation later. Thousands of doors. Man, thousands of doors. The Pit of 1,000 Trials. I actually never beat the Pit of 100 Trials. I should go back and do that. I got to, like, floor 80 of the Pit of 100 Trials. That was pretty good. Here, you know what? Since we're just looking at fucking this, what am I gonna do? I don't know. I was gonna browse Twitter. It's probably a bad idea. It's probably a really bad idea right now. Is that a dabbing emote? Okay, whatever. Thought the final boss was conceptually really cool in Thousand Year Door. Yeah, the what is it? The final moments of Thousand Year Door are really, really good. It's just once you beat the final boss. Here's the thing, right? What was really good? What was really like good for me about Thousand Year Door specifically? You know what? I'm gonna bring it up. Hold on. Where is I'm switching off of Chrome-based browsers, by the way. I could totally make Paper Mario. Let me go in. Let me bring up something real quick. Hold on. You guys might love this actually. Let me just bring this up. Hold on. God, it's so fucking bright. Now live on your channel. Yes, YouTube. I'm aware that I am live right now. Here we go. Here we go. You guys are going to fucking love this. So I've started to catalog and organize my library of games, and I'm getting a bunch of shit. Revive OGIE. Revive Internet Explorer. Okay, buddy. Anyway, I've started categorizing and organizing my collection of games. This is not. I intend for this to be comprehensive. Maybe not the Steam games. Maybe I'll leave out the Steam games, honestly. Initially, what this spreadsheet was going to be, it was going to be a review tab where I would do mini reviews of all the games that I've played and beat. But honestly, I feel like it would do me a lot of good to catalog all my console games. I might just straight up delete the Steam section, because I don't think that's really worth it. But yeah, NES, N64, GBA, GameCube. Like, again, this isn't comprehensive yet, but I want it to be comprehensive. And I have a bunch of categories, like, you know, what review I would give it, like what score I give it. A small review if I want to write like a paragraph or a paragraph and a half. Have I beaten the game? Yes or no? Do I have it physically or digitally? Because that does matter for some games. And, you know, just other notes that I have on some games. Like, if I beat the game 100% or if I played it entirely on the Steam Deck or yada, yada, yada. So, you know, I think it's really satisfying to have all this shit categorized. And one day I will have everything. But for now, it's just so tedious, man. It's so fucking tedious to organize all this shit. So that's the only reason why I haven't finished it yet. I mean, hey, this is a Zatsudan stream, so we can just kind of have this idle chit chat, because that shit is funny. Oh man. Oh, I've been editing for like 2 fucking hours and I already feel like dying. Here's what I'm gonna do. I used IE exclusively until late 2018, mid 2019. I was extremely resistant to Chrome. See, like, Chrome is nice. The problem with it now is the whole fucking Manifest version 3 shit. You know, so I've switched over to Firefox and I'm gonna get that up and running and working as good as I want it to be. Anyway, I am going to finish this chunk of editing, and then I'll go ahead and end the stream. You know, finishing up this bit would be real nice. And things seem to be tapering off right now, which is all right.
Genuinely, I think these capacitive joysticks should be the new standard, like on every controller.
All right, here we go.
Because think about it. You have a new input without resorting to doing whatever bullshit this is. Genuinely.
Dude. Actually, we'll delete it with this and then move this over here. There we go. FF is also Chromium based. Firefox isn't Chromium based. Firefox is Gecko, I think. Something along those lines. It's not Chromium. If you're talking about, like, because Edge, Vivaldi, Brave, Opera GX, a lot of that, like, pretty much every web browser is Chromium based. Not Firefox, though. Firefox is not Chromium based.
Because think about it. You have a new deck. Like, genuinely, I think these capacitive joysticks should be the new standard, like on every controller. Because think about it, you have a new input without resorting to doing whatever bullshit this is. Because think about it. You have new inputs on this thing that don't interfere with a traditional gamepad layout.
What? Okay, bye.
And don't resort to doing this weird fucking trackpad bullshit. Because think about it. You have new inputs on this thing. Because think...
Okay, I guess we'll have both of these. Yeah, we'll do this.
Because think about it. You have new inputs on this thing that don't interfere with a traditional gamepad layout, and don't resort to doing this weird fucking trackpad bullshit. Going hand in hand.
What's the difference between Firefox and Waterfox? Even as an IT guy, I don't know. What the fuck is... Save search moderate. Waterfox. Really? Waterfox. Is this Chromium based as well? Hold on. Because it's got tracking protection and all that shit, but like, is it Chromium based? Private browsing, no telemetry, FAQ. Here we go. Let's see. Web browser, how's personal data handled? What technology is it built on? Powered by Gecko. Okay, interesting. Interesting. I might look into this. Because I kind of already have shit set up with Firefox. I just don't know how trustworthy Waterfox is. Never heard of it before, but it seems interesting, you know? I'll be willing to look into that a little bit more.
And going hand in hand with these capacitive trackpads, and going hand in hand with these capacitive joysticks, gyro aim.
Oh man, I'm a big fucking fan of gyro aim. Dude, I think gyro should be on every controller. It's so nice.
And going hand in hand with these capacitive joysticks, gyro aim. Yes, I know I haven't talked about it in a while, but I'm a massive, massive fan of gyro aim and flick stick and all these new forms of aiming with a controller.
Man, it was all because of Splatoon 1. I played Splatoon 1, and that game's gyro just, it converted me like that. It was so well done.
Because I haven't talked about it in a while, but I'm going to reiterate. I am a massive fan of gyro aim, and I genuinely think it should be the new standard and should be in every controller going forward.
Yeah.
Sensitive joysticks, gyro aim. Because I haven't talked about it in a while, but I'm going to reiterate. I am a massive fan of gyro aim. The rear buttons, which can only be described as fucky. Now, if you're not familiar with keyboard, and the rear buttons, which can only be described as fucky.
Fuck. That fuck, bro. That fuck, bro. Yeah. Shit. Gotta have that cut in there.
Now, if you're not familiar with keyboards, then you probably aren't familiar with the word thok. But let me just say, people spend thousands of dollars on their keyboards to make them sound exactly like these back buttons. And the Steam Deck just comes with them for free.
Pretty much, yeah. They're really satisfying. I feel the same. Sucks. I was kind of pushed to learn gyro. It was a Jovian task with my shaky arms. See, like, that's the thing, right? I think gyro should be the standard, but I think there should also be options for people who can't use gyro. You know, like, you should be able to turn it off if you need to. Like, I'm not saying that, I don't want people to be forced to use a control layout, you know what I mean? I want there to be options.
The deck is just genuinely some of my favorite controls right now. Like, it's rivaling. The deck is just some of my favorite. This premium feeling, and just sold it as its own controller. I didn't even care if the new controller was shaped like the fucking Joy-Con grip thing Nintendo Switch has been doing.
Yeah.
The deck would have control sticks that are actually good. Imagine that.
Oh shit! I kind of want that. I kind of want that bit in there.
I wouldn't even care if the controls. I wouldn't even care if the standalone controllers looked like the fucking square Joy-Con grip that the Switch has. Because, like, hot take here, I actually kind of like how the Joy-Con grip feels. The deck would have
I'd rather not use it if it's not putting myself at a huge disadvantage, unlike Splatoon, where you kind of have to use it. That's valid, honestly. I don't. Yeah, fuck. I'll just skip that bit. I want to get done with this.
The deck even comes with a pretty substantial carrying case, like included in the box. And the deck even comes with a pretty, like, substantial carrying case.
Gotta have the carrying case. Carrying case is pretty good.
And the deck even comes with a pretty, like, substantial carrying case. It's so good that notorious Linux hater Linus Sebastian was able to do this.
For this bit, I'm going to play like a clip from Linus's unboxing where he like slams on it. It's gonna be funny.
So good that notorious Linux hater Linus Sebastian was able to do this. And the deck inside was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Substantial carrying case. It's so good that notorious Linux hater Linus Sebastian was able to do this, and the deck inside was perfectly fine.
Okay, I gotta put that in later.
And the deck inside was perfectly fine. And the deck inside. You also got this little, like, rear compartment back here. You can hold all kinds of things. You even got this little, like, stretchy rubber thing with the rear compartment on the back that can hold all kinds of things. Your plastic, god damn it. There's also this nice, like, elastic band on the back that lets you hold stuff in this rear compartment. You can hold all kinds of things in it. You know, your charging cable, a TV dock, snacks, incriminating evidence, whatever you want.
That was a very Scott the Woz joke I just made. Eh, whatever.
Not only that, but the screen's also pretty good too. And the praise just keeps coming in because the screen is also pretty freaking good. And the praise just keeps flooding in because the screen is also really good on this thing.
Can you put a 3DS in it? Hold on. Where's the carrying case? Shit. Hold on. Let me go grab it real quick. Okay, I got it in my hands. And I got my 3DS XL in here. Okay, a 3DS XL is not gonna fit. Scott's really good at delivering those kinds of jokes. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I respect the shit out of Scott, man. He makes some damn good videos.
And the praise just keeps flooding in because the screen is also really good on this thing. Yeah, it's not an OLED, and it's only, you know, 1200. Yeah, it's not an OLED, so the colors aren't as good as the Switch OLED, and the screen resolution's only 1200 by 800, but honestly, those things aren't really a big deal to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would like to have an OLED screen in this, but, you know, keeps costs down, so I'm not exactly losing my mind over it. And at this size, the screen doesn't feel low res. And at this size, like, I wouldn't want... And at this size, the screen doesn't really feel low res, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want a 1440p display, or even a 1080p display, honestly. Because the low resolution screen helps the custom SoC in this thing, which, by the way, there's a custom valve. The low resolution would help the custom SoC run games better. Like, which would you rather have? A higher resolution that doesn't really matter at the end of the day? Because the lower res 1080p display that you because, let's be honest, which would you rather have? 1080p display that feel low res, you know what I mean? Because, let's be honest, which would you rather have? 1080p display that you kind of can't notice as 1080p at this size, or 60 FPS.
Kind of is the big compromise with the Steam Deck.
Because let's be honest, which would you rather have? A 1080p display that you can't really tell is 1080p at this size, or 60 frames a second. And the cool thing about the software is that you can like force 30 frames a second on all your games just so you can squeeze out that little extra battery life. Because yeah, the battery life on this thing ain't great. Like, I get about 3 hours of Monster Hunter Rise at 60 FPS, which is understandable, but still a little disappointing. I mean, it was disappointing when the Switch had a 3-hour battery life, so, you know, I'm not going to give it praise for having the same flaw.
Split. There we go.
The only gripe I have about the Steam Deck, aside from its honestly light battery life, I have two main gripes with this thing. One, it's kind of light battery life. I mean, we already talked about it. The only gripe I have other than the battery life is the fact that the B button kind of like sticks occasionally. The only gripe I have besides the light battery life is the fact that the B button sticks occasionally, like more often than you'd expect. It gets pretty annoying.
Yeah, that's kind of the biggest drawback of the Steam Deck. In terms of like its build quality, you know, the build quality of the Steam Deck is really, really good. It's just that the B button sticks a lot, and it can get pretty annoying after a while. If I can find a fix for it, I'm gonna make a video about it, because genuinely, like, okay, the actual hardware of the deck is like a 9 out of 10. And it's prevented from being a 10 out of 10 because of the fucking B button. Like, it really is that good. I don't want to sing its praises too hard, because I really wanted to, like, marinate in my thoughts of the Steam Deck for a while before I started writing it down, because I didn't want to get caught in a honeymoon phase. You know what I mean? I didn't want to have, like, rose-tinted glasses on the Steam Deck while I'm doing the review. But no, honestly, like, months and months later, the what is it? All the opinions that I have in here, they're still true. Like, I still think it. So, this just goes to show how good the thing is.
And if that's the only downside I've found in the last... Fuck, how late is this video? And if the B button stick... And if that's the only gripe I have after...
Battery life is genuinely passable. It's hard to cram more life into something that's like that and keep it safe. Yeah, that's true, honestly. That's why I'm not losing my mind over the battery life, but I'm still gonna, like, you know, I still pointed out that the battery life is pretty weak.
And if the B button stick... And if that's the only gripe I have after the past... Fuck, how late is this video again? And if that's the only gripe I have after, like, what, 3 months of using this thing? And if that's the only gripe I have after a few months of essentially daily driving this thing, I'd say the hardware is pretty good. I'd say the hardware is pretty good.
I'm gonna leave that joke in. Let's see how that flows.
And if that's the only gripe I have after the past... Fuck, how late is this video again? I'd say the hardware is pretty good.
Alright. Alrighty. So, we've been editing for about 2.5 hours, and we're only 11 minutes into this video. This is gonna be a long one, boys. It's gonna be a long one. Anyway, everyone's pretty much gone. I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you all for watching, whoever is watching this in the future.